here to Michigan International Speedway here at the SuperStar Cup race number 14, the regular season finale. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We have a bit of qualifying there as we are currently getting underway for tonight. So currently about to go green here. As currently have a few drivers setting up on the racetrack. Daniel Monix going to be on the pole for tonight's race. Got the pole, and green flag is out. We're underway here from Michigan. Getting the graphics up really quickly. Apologies for the delays.
Side by side, Ruben Rodas on the outside there, trying to get up to second place. As still side by side for second, as Ruben Rodas clears there. Down in the turn 3 and 4. Daniel Molnix falls down to third, now fourth. As Donnie Kite up to third place, he's one of the drivers on the bubble in the chase. But here comes Ruben Rodas for the race lead. He's trying to lead lap 1 here early on now at Michigan. It's going to be side by side, right at the line. Isaiah Walters will lead that lap there.
Walters able to get the lead. Kite slots into second. Rodas sitting there in third. Daniel Monix in the middle there, just a few cars behind, side by side. Paint hasn't loaded there. Is the 7 of Jared Skinner. Got a few cars, a little bit of contact towards the back there.
Got Houston right there, I believe. Kyler Jones as well. There's team of basketball on the inside. Steve Hopkins at Welcome, he's out to make his way through the field as well.
There you see multiple battles, but down to the inside. Donnie Kite for the race lead on Isaiah Walters. Down to the turn number 1.
Kite currently the first driver out in P13, 26 points behind Dustin Coggin on the cutoff line. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out and how his strategy works out in his 85 lap races. Here comes Ruben Rodas to the inside for second now. Donnie Kite holding on strong on the outside line. Got a drive from Isaiah Walters. Isaiah Walters goes low. Donnie Kite clears for second. Walters still leads here early on in this one.
Side by side for the lead now, down to the turn number 1.
Still side by side for seconds. Donnie Kite takes the race lead down into turn number 3, and he's going to clear off of 4. He's going to probably lead this lap coming across the line. Daniel Molnix also up there. Jared Skinner, I believe, as well in the 7 machine. Side by side, here comes Ruben Rodas with a good run. Going to take the outside lane, go below. Some contact between him and Donnie Kite. 3 wide for third behind them. And 4 wide almost. Hunter Sr. going to take it on the very top side. 1-2 weeks ago here at Atlanta. And he's ripping the top side here early on here in lap 5.
Good run there for Hunter Sr. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 now. Side by side with Ruben Rodas. Finally got the graphics back up and running. Apologies for the delays for Ruben Rodas. Big slide into 3. He'll slide up the racetrack to try and get in front of Alex Anderson.
So 3 wide for 5th place there. Here in the Mulliks in the middle. Alex Anderson up top. And I believe Jimmy Geiges on the bottom there.
Trying to work his way down to the bottom. Here comes Isaiah Walters side by side now with Daniel Molnix through 1 and 2. Daniel Molnix able to clear off in turn number 2, but now the battle up for the race lead. Jared Skinner looks down to the bottom, side by side down the back straightaway. And the turn number 3, Jared Skinner going to go all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack. Going to try and get the run through the corner off of turn number 4 now.
As here comes Hunter Sr. with a good run. Gonna push Jared Skinner down the bottom line. And here comes Alex Anderson. Big run. Ruben Rodas as well. Big run down the front straightaway. And this is looking like a big pack race. So we talked about earlier in qualifying here with these ARCA Cars at Michigan.
So far, Jared Skinner able to hold the race lead for now, but down the back straightaway. Two drivers side by side. Back down to the turn number 3. Hunter Sr. down the racetrack just a little bit. They're trying to get to the inside of Alex Anderson. Daniel Mollick's right behind them. Down to the turn number 1. Hunter Sr. runs to the bottom of the racetrack to get it down to that yellow line. So tries to slide up between him and Daniel Molnick off at turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, going to get a good run for Daniel Molnick on the high lane. Hunter Sr. starting to fall back just a little bit now. He's going to have Isaiah Watchers side by side. Back up the battle in front of him, but again, caution on the racetrack, first wreck of the night. I think maybe Skylar Jones, Jordan Warnock, maybe. Not sure. There's Nate Bogus down to the 3. Big wreck for Nate Bogus there. Let's take a look at what happened. Trying to get a replay, see if we can see it. Don't think it's gonna pop up for us. Basically not rendering the car for me. So Nate Bogus good went around down to the turn number 3. Brings out our first caution of the night. So Jared Skinner, our race leader. Donnie Kite sitting there in 2nd. Alex Anderson in 3rd. While we're under this first caution of the night, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here from Michigan. here to Michigan International Speedway here for SuperStar ARCA Cup, as the regular season finale is currently just got off our first caution of the night for Nate Balgus going around towards the back of the field. Ruben Rodas will be our race leader as he stands on the racetrack. The green flag back in the air through the restart zone. We're back on the way here from Michigan here on lap number 11. 11 laps tonight.
Over the inside, right there, 3 wide into turn 1. And it's around 5th place there for Donnie Kite. Jordan Warnock in the middle. And outside is Hunter Sr. Won 2 weeks ago at Atlanta, picking up his first win.
A few cars wiggling in the back. I believe that might be Skylar Jones. A big wiggle in the back, able to keep it together. Back to the middle up front here from Scott Esposito. Kyle Esposito looking for that regular season championship tonight. Down the front straightaway. Down to turn number 1. On the bottom, we're off the racetrack a little bit. Down the back straightaway, gonna go down into turn number 3. Jared Skinner able to hold the race lead for now. Donnie Kite right behind him. Hunter Senior up the racetrack a little bit.
It's 4 wide there for 3rd. Daniel Mulks on the inside. Ruben Rodas.
Ruben Rodas goes around! Ruben Rodas goes around the front straightaway. And multiple cars going involved.
Hunter Senior involved as well. He's one of the drivers on the cutoff. I see his major damage on that 42 machine.
That's going to be his night done pretty much there. Hunter Senior major damage. Let's take a look at what happened here.
Yeah, Hunter Senior was only 30 points above the cutoff line, and that might just end the season right there, his championship hopes.
Oh, Hunter Senior goes up in the air. Ruben Reinhausen as well. It blinks out a little bit there. And should pop out back here in a second.
And Ruben Rodas is also one of the drivers on the cutoff line as well, so this could really shake up the championship top 12, and Ryan Housen was outside looking in.
You can see that left front is broken. That will be his night over.
And this is really helping up Jimmy Geikens, Alex McQueen, and Donnie Kite, as well as Ryan Housen out, Ruben Rodas out, Hunter Senior out as well. So those drivers could fall outside the top 12 here late in the season, but also you do have that 1 drop as well in the regular season, which could really shake things up, but you don't want to ever count on the drop here if you're one of those drivers around the top 12 spots.
Yeah, especially in that, and that's going to shake up a lot as multiple drivers getting involved there. So our second caution of the night. We start just under 70 laps to go. Meanwhile, while we're under this caution, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here for Michigan. Welcome back here to Michigan, here for the regular season finale for the SuperStar ARCA Cup. So we're our second caution of the night here from Michigan, as Donnie Kite and Jared Skinner will be on the front row for this restart. So we start lap number 17, but green flag back in the air. Jared Skinner, great launches. So we'll see what Donnie Kite, if he'll slot in line in front of Alex Anderson there. Down into turn number 1, these drivers all fight for position. Down the back straightaway now. Jared Skinner leads as Daniel Malnick's firstly slots in line, and Jordan Warnock going to go around down the back straightaway. Oh, hard hit for Jordan Warnock. Hard hit down the back straightaway, and that's going to end his night.
There's another driver involved as well. Not who it was.
It's all started up here, back here with Isaiah Watrous. I think he just tried to slot in line, and he was not clear of Isaiah Watrous. Yeah, and that's what happened there. A few other drivers getting involved. Let's take a look. I believe maybe Christopher Busch. No, I believe that's 44 Craig Martin. Craig Martin getting involved there.
Unfortunate for him.
That'll be his night over too. Let's take a look at that one from Craig Martin's perspective. On board here with Craig Martin down into turn number 1. Off to turn number 2. A little bit of damage already from previous incident. Nowhere to go. Couldn't see at all. Just big damage, and that's going to end his night. No doubt. But now that's our third caution of the night. Have a few cautions to kind of get things sorted back out and ready.
Yeah, we'll see these drivers kind of calm down a little bit. 3 cautions early on this one. Haven't really had a long green flag run yet. So we'll see how that plays out. Currently, most drivers don't believe have come down pit lane yet in this race.
Yeah, a few of these drivers, Daniel Malnick's one driver yet to pit this race. Alan Kennedy, these drivers have not pitted at all. Got a few other drivers towards the back here. Ruben Rodis, oh, he's had heavily damaged. This actually is in pit road now, but up front it's Jared Skinner, Donnie Kite, Alex Anderson all have made a pit stop. But Daniel Malnick's the only driver yet to pit here, out in this front pack. Alan Kennedy actually did pit. He's on a 9-lap stint. Just the pit's not showing up correctly. But Daniel Malnick's the only driver to stay out on the racetrack this whole race so far. But Jared Skinner going to be still our race leader. Donnie Kite sitting there in second. A great spot for Donnie Kite. He needed all the points he could get tonight. And some of the drivers he was in front of him in the points definitely going to be knocked out. Going to have to rely on a drop and not having very good nights. So Donnie Kite looking very strong to put himself in this chase for the championship. He's still got a long way to go, and we've known before. We talked to him before. His luck's not been the greatest this all of the season, so he's just got to keep it clean tonight. Get a solid finish, and Donnie Kite should be in the points. He was only 25 out, which isn't a whole lot. It's about maybe 5 to 6 spots. It's only about 3 to 5 points per position, depending on where you are through the field. So Donnie Kite was looking strong, and he was another strong driver tonight. Very strong qualifying. Let's take a look at our most positions games so far tonight. So top 5 most position gains. Zachary Tyler up 18, Kyle Herlitzky 15, Timothy Hussey 14, Connor Sposian and 13, Alan Kinley also up 13. So all those drivers working their way up very well through the field tonight. Let's take a look at our weather tonight as well. Hot track temps, so you kind of see these drivers really getting tight for that reason. Michigan, one of those drivers where it kind of builds tighter the hotter it gets. Pretty high winds as well, about 11 miles per hour, so it can be a little bit tighter in a few other corners. But so far, Donnie Kite and Jared Skinner on the front row still, as they lead it down the front straightaway into the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Jared Skinner with a good jump. He's going to clear in front of Donnie Kite down the front straightaway. Teammates working together well, slotting up in line.
There's actually no single foul throughout the top 5 as side by side in the mid pack there. Sam Hoff, who started in dead last, all the way up to 5th place already here on lap 21, is more battle in the back there around Tate LaPretta. It's Dustin Coggin there. He's the driver on the cut line in 12th place. Currently in favorite position right now, with the unfortunate results for Ruben Rodas and Hunter Sr. being out early in this one. So Dustin Coggin looking good right now. As some Donnie Kite, Ryan Housen out, Jimmy Geikus currently 15th in the points. So it's going to be interesting to see how this really shakes up. And there's some contact there for Kalinski.
Into Samuel Hoff, he saves it though. I heard a big slide from someone towards the back. They actually keep it straight up. May have been Skylar Jones. But here comes Daniel Wallach down to the inside for the race lead on Jared Skinner. Side by side through turn number 3. It's off of turn number 3, side by side for these race leaders. Down the front straightaway, dead even for the lead. Daniel Wallach down the bottom, our pole sitter. Down to the turn number 1. Molnix clears for second, but now Alex Anderson around the outside. A good move for Alex Anderson now down the back straightaway. As Samuel Hoff up to 3rd. Really good run for Samuel Hoff tonight, looking to try and win this regular season championship. There's 44 points ahead of Connor Sposian. So Samuel Hoff, what he needs to do to defend his regular season championship. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1. We'll see if he makes a move. Jared Skinner off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Single file through the field so far. See just how spread out the field is a little bit here through 1 and 2, but just how much chaos it is now as Kyle Herlitzky almost 3 wide there with Timothy Presley, but Presley backs out, loses the run. Doesn't shut the door in front of Brian Marshall, so he just lets Brian Marshall go on by. Connor Sposian slots in front of Donnie Kite. But down the back straightaway, all these drivers single file now, trying to work together. Trying to get some laps, kind of licked off here. But Daniel Molnix now looks to the inside.
Molnix the inside, Samuel Hoff side by side. Off of turn 4 for 3rd. As Jared Skinner, Alex Anderson, 1-2 currently. As still side by side, Daniel Molnix might be losing some time here as a brake train on the outside. Here comes Samuel Hoff for second. 3 wide also for around 5th place. As I believe that's Walter's making it 3 wide on the bottom there. Timothy Presley almost slides up to Daniel Molnix off of turn number 2. But they keep it straight so far. And Jared Skinner still leads. Alex Anderson second, Samuel Hoff and 3rd.
Dustin Coggin, a big send into the 3. He's going to try and get to the inside of Daniel Molnix. That's 3 wide once again. As Dustin Coggin on the bottom, 3 wide with Donnie Kite and Kyle Herlitzky. Donnie Kite starting to struggle a little bit. He's starting to fall back a little bit to the pack. He's now falling back to 7th. Sticking to the high lane though, getting that good draft from Isaiah Washington a little bit of air push behind from Timothy Presley, but he's going to go 3 wide on the middle of Isaiah Washington. Daniel Molnix 3 wide off of turn number 2 now, down the back straightaway, a little bit of contact maybe. Daniel Molnix a little bit of contact with Timothy Presley, down the back straightaway, and then 3 is Alex Anderson at a big wiggle off of turn number 2, and that's going to check up the outside lane.
As the pack is really starting to form here after a few laps after the restart. As Connor Zabosian right in 3rd place, Samuel Afazu. Big check up on the outside of the skill out. Jalen Mullis to get a good run down the front straightaway, but he's kind of left alone on the bottom lane. There's a huge train up top, and he might fall back down outside the top 10 here shortly.
A few of these drivers are going to get through, but here comes Alex Anderson now up the racetrack. Donnie Kite side by side with Connor Zabosian. As Daniel Molnix way down to the bottom of the racetrack. Struggle as he has not pit yet, so he's on the oldest tires through the field so far. So Daniel Molnix, I think those tires are starting to play a factor. Down the front straightaway, here comes Kyle Herlitzky, looks to the inside of Donnie Kite. Down the front straightaway, entering turn number 3. Side by side with Timothy Presley up the racetrack a little bit, but big wiggle, I believe, out of Jared Skinner. That's their side by side down the back straightaway for the race lead. Samuel Hoff on the outside. Jared Skinner down to the bottom in the 3. Alex Anderson pushing Samuel Hoff down into the corner. Jared Skinner going to try and hold the inside. Off of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. Jared's going to start to fall back a little bit. Samuel Hoff, big shove from Alex Anderson, pushing him all the way through. And Jared Skinner losing a lot of time, getting freight train on the outside lane as they enter turn number 1. There's 3 wide for 3rd, about 3rd, as Timothy Presley slots up in the line.
Timothy Presley scoots his way through up to 3rd place for him. Goes in 4th as Presley looking for 2nd now on Alex Anderson.
Driving down to the bottom, going to try and get up to this quarter panel side draft and back, but not able to do it, and he was not able to slot up in front of Connor Zabosian. Can he shut the door in front of Herlitzky? No, he won't. He's going to be 3 wide in all his run, all his momentum, all the way to the back. He's going to go behind Donnie Kite here, which is what he does into turn number 1. If he tries to slot back up in line, but can't do it, he's going to be forced down to the bottom. And now they're going to be 3 wide just there for a second. As Timothy Presley really struggling now as that big moment off of turn, lost a lot of momentum off of turn 4. He went all the way back to the back end of the top 10.
Outside the top 10 is the side-by-side Justin Coggin back there for 10th place. But still out in front, Sam Hall from the back to the front now. And he's looking to try to win this regular season championship over Connor Zabosian. Currently has a 44-point lead over Zabosian entering tonight's race.
So far, he's putting more points on Connor Zabosian. Connor Zabosian sitting there in 3rd. He's a very solid finish tonight, but he's going to need a little bit of help if Samuel Hoff's going to sit up in front. So he need to dominate this race tonight, but Connor Zabosian sitting there in 3rd. A little bit of help from Samuel Hoff. Maybe a bad strategy call from Hoff. Sets him just about outside the top 10. Let him gain a little bit more points. A side-by-side right now between Jared Skinner and Donnie Kite. Skinner's trying to shut the door on Daniel Molnix, but not going to work. It's the run on the outside. Jared Skinner going to slot in line. Daniel Molnix tries to make a move down into turn number 1 to the inside of Tyler Herlitzky. 3 wide with Donnie Kite now off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Be 3 wide.
Still 3 wide through turn number 3 and 4. Jared Skinner in the middle. Daniel Molnix on the bottom. It looks like Daniel Molnix coming in pit lane.
Early pit stop for Daniel Molnix. Samuel Hoff, our race leader still.
Yeah, I believe Molnix is not pitted yet so far here tonight, so that's why he had to come in early.
Early pit stop for Daniel Molnix. We'll see if that hurts him a little bit. So he might have to make an extra pit stop.
He's not going to have any drafting help either off of the pit lane. once he exits pit lane. So as here comes the rest of the field, doesn't look like anyone else coming in anytime soon here in lap 35.
So far we have maybe about 10 car breakaway from the rest of the field. Got 11 cars. Alec Kennedy, the last driver in this main pack, is 12th on back, pushing Schweger, and just kind of have cars just kind of scattered all over the place. But right now, it's this top 11. They're single file right now. Some of these drivers trying to make moves down in the corner, but not able to make anything work right now. But off of turn number 4, Alex Anderson tries to get to the outside of Samuel Hoff. Not going to be able to do it this time. Will be 50 laps to go here for Michigan. Probably see at least one pit stop. We had for the fuel number, but down into turn number 1 and 2.
And side by side for around 5th place there as they go single file back out. So I think these drivers are just kind of calming down. Longest run easily of the night so far here on lap 36. We've been green for around 15 laps or so, I believe. So I think these drivers are going to be a little bit more calm. Tires starting to wear as well. And the field's spreading out just a little bit more, which is kind of allowing these drivers to be able to be a little cautious, not push too hard, and kind of see the whole top 10 so far, single file.
So far through 1 and 2, these top 11 just kind of staying together. A few drivers trying to make a few moves right there towards the back of this pack. Dustin Coggin now inside of Timothy Presley, alongside, side by side into turn number 3. Now I got a few drivers right up in front of them. Kyron Malinsky, Jared Skinner side by side. Isaiah Walters trying to get by. I believe it was kind of supposed in there into 3 and 4, but now he's gonna get free train on the top lane. Samuel still leads, not really any pressure right now. Alex Anderson not being too aggressive to try and get by Samuel Hoff right now. He was just trying to save a little bit of fuel, save a little bit of tires, making a little bit of clean air. Still decent clean air for Alex Anderson. The clean air very important here at Michigan, especially how tight these cars are. They make it very padded, very tight. You can easily burn up your right front very quickly. So far, Samuel Hoff able to have that clean air, and that's a big advantage here at Michigan.
Yeah, very, very important at a track like Michigan, especially with these ARCA cars with the bigger spoilers. Still, a lot of these drivers still trying to learn these new cars, but I mean, just more experience helps as well. But we've been pretty much most of the season with these new cars.
Big save from Daniel Onyx. What a save as he keeps it together. As he was on the fresher tires trying to work his way through the field.
Get his lap back right there. Coming to Timothy Presley just make contact. Not sure who was at fault exactly, but I think it looks like Monix may have.
Just take a replay of Daniel Onyx down into turn number 1 here. Still the contact. Look at that save. Tagged. He just got tagged there off the corner. Right now, Alex Anderson, he also took the race lead during that. I believe Samuel Hoff looking pretty low there. Might be coming to pit road. They have a lot of drivers coming out of pit road. Alex Anderson, Samuel Hoff, Isaiah Walters deep on the brakes for Isaiah Walters. That might be really tight there. Dustin Coggin, a little bit of contact, and that's gonna take his front bumper off and actually pop back on there. Down the front straightaway into pit road as we'll see those drivers coming on the pit road on the right side of the screen. But Donnie Kite now down the back straightaway. Our new race leader, Jared Skinner, right behind him. See, these drivers are going to have to make another pit stop later in this race with Donnie Kite and Jared Skinner staying low on the bottom. But Donnie Kite stays out on the racetrack, but Jared Skinner by himself, so he's going to have to try and force his way back up into the pack. But let's see where Daniel Onyx, where would he cycle compared to everybody else? As Daniel Onyx is Timothy Presley, as he passes there, as Daniel Onyx is going to be back on the lead lap. So he cycles out compared to Samuel Hoff, Isaiah Waters, and Alex Anderson is right there. So Daniel Walling's going to slot back into third. Daniel Walling's going to slot into third provisionally right now. Donnie Kite still a race leader. He'll come down pit road. Connor Sabosian as well. So maybe the overcut helps Sabosian gain a little bit of time on Samuel Hoff.
Right at the halfway point of this race, so I would assume these drivers probably have to pit one more time. It's going to be very close though.
So 4 drivers down pit road. The 4 drivers left or right side of the screen. Those 4 yet to pit as now they all have pitted. So Alex Anderson currently going to be our net race leader. So he'll take the lead this time by often as these drivers go on pit road. We have a caution on the racetrack. And that's going to shake up everything. I believe it's Christian Stringer down the back straightaway, and it is Christian Stringer. I believe maybe a little bit of contact off of pit road, and he goes all around off of turn number 2. Let's take a
Could
look
also
at
be
what
the
happened.
cold tires as well.
Actually, no, it wasn't off pit road. Off at turn number 2, gets into the wall, and just spins down the back straightaway. Keeps it off the inside wall, very big apron, but that does trigger the caution right after the cycles, and that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt Donnie Kite, as they just got off pit road. Didn't get off pit road yet. I don't think he will cycle. Actually, no, he will cycle second.
Okay.
It actually helps Donnie Kite. They were not off pit road in time. They would have had to forced to go all the way to the back.
I don't really think it affected anything too drastically. The top 10 or so are roughly the same. But I think also that kind of the colder tires, you don't have as much grip off the exit of turn 2. Kind of saw on qualifying, a lot of drivers getting tight off of turn 2 on those colder tires. Some drivers coming in, maybe topping off on fuel. Skylar Jones being one of them. Daniel Molnick's coming in. So I think some of these drivers may be topping off on fuel, knowing it could be a one-stop race, depending on how things shape out.
Yeah, definitely this is going to shake up a lot of strategies. So now we're going to restart here with just under 40 to go. I believe they can only go about 30 laps on fuel. But that really hurts Daniel Walnick, because now he's had a pit for tires again. He was already on a big undercut strategy, but now that's not going to give him much of an advantage to the drivers, as he didn't have enough time on those tires for everyone who just pitted. Connor Sabosian will cycle to the race lead. Restart here. We're coming to 1 to green as Connor Sabosian will choose the outside lane. Donnie Kite will slot back into second as Donnie Kite fresh off pit road. That caution came out perfectly. You don't have to put any stress on his tires. So Donnie Kite pretty much just out of pit road. Really perfect timing for Donnie Kite. So he has no wear on those tires. Didn't even get him up to temperature yet probably. So Donnie Kite going to be on the freshest tires, has about a 2-lap advantage over the drivers behind us. He was able to stay out in front. Connor Sabosian also on that same strategy. So Connor Sabosian and Donnie Kite, they just came out of pit road, and now they're also on the front row. So they're going to be on about a 2-lap advantage compared to Alex Anderson, Samuel Hoff, Isaiah Walters, and Timothy Presley. A 1-lap advantage compared to Jared Skinner. And pretty much about a 2 to 3 lap advantage for a few drivers behind them, but then Skylar Jones on back, so about 16th on back. They will have a 1 lap fresher tires as they all just came down the pit road and topped it off and took a fresh set of tires. It'll be Connor Shabosian and Donnie Kite on this restart. But off of turn number 4, coming back to the restart zone here in Michigan. Started with the green flag in here. Green flag back in the air here with 40 laps to go. The drivers hit the loud pedal, get back going and underway. Green flag out, technically not out. It's a little bugged since that caution came out so early. Connor Shabosian out in the race lead for now. Down the back straightaway. There's the green flag now. We got back going. Look at that, sorted itself out. But Connor Shabosian, the race leader. Samuel Hoff now slots back into second. Donnie Kite, not a great race where he falls back to third.
Now even down to 5th place now. Timothy Presley goes up to 4th place. And he's looking for 3rd as well on Alex Anderson.
Goes out to the inside. Shabosian going to clear up in front of Samuel Hoff, but now Timothy Presley right in front of Donnie Kite. Took a wiggle from them behind. The Hill Watchers down to the bottom now, side by side with Jared Skinner through 3 and 4. Donnie Kite pretty low off the racetrack. Let's see if he can slot up in line behind Timothy Presley. He will. Connor Shabosian able to maintain a car length lead here. We'll see Samuel Hoff has a really big run down the front straightaway. See if he dives into the inside of turn number 1. He's going to stick right behind him. Try to save a little bit of tire. Still a long way to go left in this race. Should have 1 green flag stop as well. So a little bit to go still in this race.
Yeah, most likely 1 green flag stop left still in this one. Depends on when the caution comes out, if there is another one. As the field bunched up here. How hard will they tire save? We still saw them in a pretty big pack, even after a pretty long green flag run and green flag pit stops. They were still in a pretty big pack together. But now the top 8 kind of separated themselves from the rest of the field here currently.
Down in turn number 1, Timothy Presley going to try and get in front of Alex Anderson here. Not really be the gap. We'll see if he slots behind Alex Anderson, but Donnie Kite going to take advantage of that. He's going to get to the outside of Timothy Presley, and Timothy Presley going to go all the way towards the back of this pack. Maybe all of the contact with Jared Skinner. Should have slot his way in the line there. He holds on, but that shot Jared Skinner out of line. But right now, these top 8 are 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field right now, which is back with Brian Marshall. He's by himself. Allie Kennedy, who's a smaller bit of the other pack. Second pack a little bit more battling. There's Daniel Walnix on the pressure tires. He's kind of stuck in the back of this pack. Just unfortunate timing for that caution for Daniel Walnix, but so far, battles up front, kind of staying calm for now, single file. And Jared Skinner going to try and dive at the inside of Zachary Tyler. Off turn number 4, side by side for that position. Jared's going to slot back up in line, but we have a lot of battling going on just outside the top 10. Alan Kennedy, he's falling back a little bit. Christopher Bush tries to get the inside and take the breath. Christopher Bush going to try and slot up in front of Daniel Walnix, but but hard to the wall for Christopher Bush. That's the checkup Hunter Sr. That's going to give him some more damage. Now back up front. These drivers just trying to find each different lane to try and get a little bit more of a run. But Samuel Hoff, a really good run through 3 and 4. Just stick behind Connor Shabosian. He had a good run all the way back over. Give that big shove to Connor Shabosian down the front straightaway. Alex Anderson has a good push as well for Donnie Kite.
That's great just teamwork here right now. There's lap traffic up ahead. Not sure who it is exactly. Has
Car-
smoke down the back straightaway.
Around maybe down the back straightaway here. Don't know who that was. Try to find out who that was with a little bit of smoke. Meanwhile, we do stay. Green is now Connor Sposian. Our racing is getting a little bit of a dirty air now from, I believe that's Christian Schweger. As Christian Schweger going to go a second lap down. The top 8 continue to keep this main pack alive. So right now, but Alex McQueen, smaller pack of about 6 drivers here, about 3 seconds off the main pack. The drivers trying to have to work together. They want to catch that top 8 in the main pack. Alex McQueen way up the racetrack. Side by side for that position, Skylar Jones. Skylar Jones inside of Ryan Marshall. This is just for that top 10 spot, top 9 spot. It's almost 3 wide there for a second as Daniel Molnix almost 3 wide. He's going to try and work by Ryan Marshall. Off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, not able to do it. Alex McQueen into the wall a little bit. Try to follow him through, but up front it's Connor Sposian and Samuel Hoff.
Still 1-2 on the racetrack and 1-2 in the points, except Hoff and Sposian switched in the points. Sposian still trying to win the regular season here. And still plenty of time to do so as 31 laps to go. A lot can still happen.
Now leading a little lap, trying to win this race. You should have to hope Samuel Hoff makes a bad strategy call, sets it back a little bit, but I don't know, depending on where he finishes, I don't know, even if he finishes the tail end of this pack, I don't know if that will be enough. It's be a little close. It also depends on the drop weeks as well, but with these drivers that are much worse finish than 10th, I believe, so I don't think if they finish outside the top 10 and Connor wins, I don't think Hoff would have this race as a drop, so I don't think it would really make a difference. Top 8 staying clear of each other for now. Down into 4 as this time by will be under 30 to go. So all we have this moment, we're going to take this moment for our element, crank it up here from Michigan. back for our Crank It Up segment as we have a caution out on the racetrack. Just trying to find who that was there for a second. Jared Skinner. We saw Jared Skinner had a big moment off of turn number 2. See who that was. Jared Skinner. Oh, but it was Zachary Tyler going around down the back straightaway. Let's take a look at what happened here. So got in contact with Jared Skinner and sent him around down the back stretch. He spun back up the racetrack, just couldn't keep it under him. Couldn't keep the car under and spun down the back straightaway. And that brings out another caution as with just under 25 to go here. As Samuel Hoff, our race leader, as he was able to take the race lead away from Connor Sabosian. So that brings out probably our 4th caution of the night. It's down pit road. Samuel Hoff. Everyone going to come down pit road, as this will no doubt put them within that final fuel window, and no one else will have to come down pit road under green. As Timothy Presley could be our first pit stop here. So everyone pulls under the shawl. Taking tires, we'll see where Daniel Mollick, our first pit stop, as he got the pole. But Samuel Hoff coming off of pit road, no one else going to be able to get close to him. Samuel Hoff in first and out first. So there's the race off pit road there. So watch this. Daniel Mollick's able to maybe get Ryan Marshall there, not going to be able to do it. She stops before the cone and resets. Blinks out a little bit, so not sure what happened there, but Samuel Hoff, our race leader. So under this caution, we're going to bring in our driver, Ruben Rodas.
Hey guys, what's up?
So Rodas out in an earlier incident. So just kind of talk us through your incident, just how your race went tonight.
Honestly, I think it was a big mental mistake by me. I thought that I got shoved up, and it just felt like the air knocked me up almost, but I guess not. I don't know. It's just a racing thing. I guess everyone's aggressive. But no, I guess now I'm out, and I looked at the points and everything, and I mean, it kind of maybe a live look in for the points and what's going on right now. But yeah, so I guess as we know, the people who watch, I guess on the cut line was Dustin Coggin right now. Donnie Kite was behind him, 26 points, and Donnie's having a good run right now. So I think Donnie's going to jump him right now, and then Hunter Sr.'s out with myself, so he's going to be really interesting to win that line with him, and Nathan Johnson didn't start, so he's getting a provisional. So I think it's going to really come down to kind of Hunter Sr., Nathan Johnson, Dustin Coggin, that line, because I know Housen and Jimmy Geikis are out. It's going to be interesting, for sure.
Yeah, these points definitely really shaking up tonight, as you have multiple cut line drivers getting involved in incidents, and a few cut line drivers also having really good runs. So it's kind of shaking up a lot of things. You also got this battle for this regular season championship. It was a 44-point difference, so Connor's going to need a much bigger kind of a help over Samuel Hoff, but currently off a turn number 4, ready to go back green flag racing. So thanks for your little update there, Ruben, and good luck in the rest of the chase, and we'll see you later on.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. You have a good one.
So that was Ruben Rodas, just kind of talk us through his race and talk us of a live points update there as he's monitoring the points closely. Samuel Hoff, good launch on the restart there, down the front straightaway, and side by side for second between Connor Sabosian and Alex Anderson. Donnie Kite trying to slot back in line, kind of push Alex Anderson clear of Connor Sabosian. Sabosian going to be struggling a little bit here. He might get freight trained off of turn number 2. He's going to try and force his way back in line and shut the door behind. Isaiah Walters having a few cars into the wall in the back there. They all keep it straight, I believe. Staying right here with 22 laps to go. So single file back out quickly. Skylar Jones worked his way up. He was running around that top 10, just outside that top 10. Now broke his way into the top 10 now. Side by side here with Zachary Tyler. Calls that last caution. Just went for a spin. Zachary Tyler not able to get back up in that top 10 pretty quickly. Skylar Jones trying to work to the inside, side by side, a little bit of contact, maybe down the back straightaway. They keep it together. A little wiggle from Skylar Jones. Jared's going to try to work his way up as well. See that big moment with Zachary Tyler. Taking the front up into the wall a little bit. There's a few spots there. Sonica had a really solid run so far. We're responding to those points. That Donnie Kite should be very solidly in so far. It's going to put him in enough. Should make this points, make it in on points, make the chase.
Yeah, currently Donnie Kite running in third place, like you said. Currently, I believe sat 28 points, 26 points out on the cutoff line, and I think he should be in pretty easily. And I believe Nathan Johnson not here tonight as well. He currently sits 11th in the points. So, depending on how Alex McQueen does and Jimmy Geikus, you can see those two maybe long shots get in here, depending on how they run here late in this race.
Yeah, Nathan Johnson getting that provisional for not showing up tonight, so I believe he'll get last place points. I'm not sure entirely how that works with this current points for that, but right now, Samuel Hoff, he was looking for this regular season championship with Connors Rose, and he's out and leading one still again. So Samuel Hoff doing what he needs to do to maintain this points lead. The regular season championship will give him a few extra bonus points into the chase. Those extra bonus points can go a long way. We've seen many times before where just a couple points can make a difference, and those extra bonus points can make a pretty big difference coming out, especially this final chase.
Yeah, definitely. You never know when you have a bad race in the chase, how those extra bonus points could help you out. As the pack seem pretty calm for now here, even with under 20 laps to go, it doesn't seem like they're too racy just quite yet.
Yeah, everyone mostly staying single file. Everyone playing very calm. Maybe just trying to save a little bit of those tires down to the turn number 1. A few drivers using a few different lanes, but really not much of a difference. Samuel Hoff currently the race leader. Is Alex Anderson working a little bit higher up on the racetrack. Those drivers trying to force their way in the line. This is kind of a single file train right now. Drivers side by side. Zachary Tyler taking the front back there, just outside the top 10.
Yeah, these drivers know once they get to the inside line, they could freight train those Zabosian to the inside, trying to clear himself ahead of Kyle Rolinski, I believe.
He did. Slots back up in line. But also 4 spots. He was kind of running about sitting there in 4th, so he lost the spot there. Isaiah Waters off the turn 4, going to try and kind of regain this momentum. But all these drivers knowing track position is very important now. 60 to go. You don't want to risk making too early of a move and falling back even further, especially putting a little bit wear those tires. Because now all these drivers, they can make it to the finish, so you don't want to burn up your tires in the first 10 or 15 laps of this run. You want to try and save as much tires for those, so you can push as hard as you can in those last five or so laps. Skylar Jones a little wiggle all down the back straightaway with Jared Skinner and Timothy Presley, but he slots back in line. Side by side now is Connor Sebastian tries to look to the inside of Isaiah Watrous. It's going to be enough. He's going to slot back up in line. He's going to be able to do it, but Samuel Hoff still the race leader. That battle will be working with 13 laps to go. It's not. No one really getting too aggressive as of yet. Timothy Presley, one of those drivers trying to work in. There's a little bit of maybe a bad push there from Alex McKeegan. I'm really upset down the back straightaway. Keeps it together. Down the front straightaway, Connor Sebastian and Isaiah Watrous side by side for that position. Connor Sebastian going to slot back up in line, right behind Isaiah Watrous. Luckily, not getting freight trained yet. Isaiah off running down the racetrack, going to block off Alex Anderson. Donnie Kite sitting there in third. Content right now. Maybe try to make a few moves. Try and stay up in that top 3 spot. The best finish he can do. The best thing he can do right now is just finish this race. Where he is, he wants to try and make that chase. He was about 25 out. A few of the drivers above him in the points, but having really unfortunate incidents tonight and put him out of the race. So Donnie Kite looking very strong to make this chase right now. Down the back straight, a little bit of contact, a few drivers in the wall, Alex McQueen being one of those. Down the back straight, here comes Isaiah Watrous for the peek out to the inside. Just trying to get in front of Donnie Kite here, is knowing with 12 to go, trying to leapfrog a spot, and he will. Beautiful move from Isaiah Watrous. Donnie Kite thought about crossing over, but knowing the run from behind, didn't want to make that move yet, but Isaiah Watrous, a good move. Timed that perfectly, but here comes Connor Sebastian, maybe trying to do the same thing on Donnie Kite down to turn 1 and 2. He's going to try a 2-for-1, maybe try to slot up behind Alex Anderson. He'll pull alongside Anderson here for second. Off of turn number 2, can he slot up in front of Isaiah Watrous? Not going to be able to do it. He's going to stay side by side down the back straightaway. He's going to try and slot back and maybe behind Donnie Kite, but he's got Jared Skinner out of the outside, and Karolinsky fills that hole as well. So Connor Sebastian trying to make a move, but lost a few spots in trying to. He's going to try and force his way up into a spot here, so just barely enough there off of 4, and he will. Slots it right in front of Jared Skinner.
There's a single file back out here with 10 laps to go. Samuel Hoff continues to lead here. Trying to close out the regular season with a win here at Michigan.
Doing what he needs to do. Currently, Alex Anderson just kind of running in second for now, not making too many aggressive moves. He's got a while to go here. 10 more laps, coming in 9. There's still a while to go. A lot of these drivers just kind of the tail end of this lead pack. Just trying to make a few moves. This kind of he's trying to work his way up, but it's kind of starting to bite at the bullet. He's kind of falling back a little bit. Skylar Jones trying to get by him. Timothy Presley starting to lose touch a little bit. Alex McLean, Kate Brett, and Brian Marshall. Those drivers starting to lose touch a little bit compared to this front pack. They're all falling back. But side by side for second now, Alex Anderson and Isaiah Watrous side by side. Big move, big wiggle there for Isaiah Watrous. Going to cause a big check on the outside lane. Donnie Kite with a good run from Jared Skinner. He slots back up in the line into third. Jared Skinner tries to dive to the inside for second on Alex Anderson. Anderson blocks it. He's going to go way up the racetrack. Try and get to the outside of Samuel Hoff. Not going to be able to do it, but a big run now back to the outside lane.
Down the front straight where they go. How big of a run will he have? He's got to come up from Jared Skinner. Look to the inside. No, he's going to stay behind Hoff for now. It looks like the inside lane just not the way to pass people. You got to get to the right rear quarter panel and try to get to the outside of them.
Yeah, trying to get on someone's right rear, definitely the way to pass, but just very hard to do. He's going to need a really good run and just try and send it around the outside. Alex Anderson not close enough to do that yet. This is almost under attack from Jared Skinner once again. You saw Jared Skinner was not afraid to make that move. He was able to hold on to it. He's got up to third with that move. Isaiah Watrous now falling back just a little bit. Now he's going to slot back in behind Connor Sebastian. Shuts the door on Skylar Jones now. Jared Skinner has a peek down to the bottom into 3. Donnie Kite up the racetrack. He's trying to get to the outside of his teammate Jared Skinner. Connor Sebastian trying to work to the inside as well. Oh, Alex Anderson hard to the wall though off of turn number 2. calamity now down the back straightaway as a lot of the drivers try to avoid the slower Alex Anderson, as now he tries to force get back to the
Almost
outside.
four
It's almost 4
wide.
wide there for a second. They keep it together, but now 2 by 2. It's Donnie Kite and Alex Anderson pushing it together well in the outside lane as Isaiah Walsh is kind of Rosian falling back.
Samuel Hoff continues to lead. He's liking what he sees in his mirror right now. There's a little bit of gap to Jared Skinner off of turn number 2. With a pack behind, racing really hard.
Everyone fighting for all the little track position they can get to get up for the race lead. A caution on the racetrack as Jared Skinner went for a move. That's going to make a little bit of contact, but the caution comes out as Jared Skinner just looking for the move there in 1, trying to find out what happened there.
I think a car hit the wall off of turn number 2. I think that's what caused the caution there.
I didn't remember Arc here. Let's take a look, and it was Daniel Malnix. As this race goes from bad to worse, as he was running really good, unfortunate caution, and now he's just getting caught in another incident here down to the turn number 1. He was side by side here with Dan Riverark. As off of turn number 2, I think he just got tight into Riverark, and he does, turns Riverark around down the back straightaway, and that brings out the caution, and that's going to shake up a lot of strategy here. Now with 5 to go, you assume everyone will pit, but maybe someone bold in the back could try to stay out and maybe try to hold on.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if someone stays out. Tire wear has been somewhat of an issue, but I mean, gotta gamble somewhat, especially drivers who need to have a good finish here tonight.
Yes, actually some of those drivers outside looking in. Ryan Housen was one of those, but he was out. He's out for tonight. The other drivers trying to look in. Alex McQueen, yeah, as well. Maybe trying to play something, play a big gamble, but Hoff fakes it on the pit road. A lot of drivers coming behind him. That could be a bold strategy for Samuel Hoff. Where did Connor Shabozian do? Connor Shabozian stand on the racetrack. Interesting call there. You saw Hoff fake. Maybe if Shabozian wanted to get that regular season championship, I think maybe try to do the opposite of Hoff here. Maybe just trying to get a solid finish for tonight. See, everyone's out pit lane. Kyle Herlitsky off a pit road. As Kyle Herlitsky looks like he'll be the first one off. As actually it'll be Donnie Kite, Isaiah Waltrus, then Kyle Herlitsky. As Kyle Herlitsky, Donnie Kite, and Isaiah Waltrus taking 2 tires. Everyone else taking 4. Alan Kennedy also on a pit road. See, Alan Kennedy said he came down pit road. Did not give me a box number, box time, so I don't know if he took 4 or 2. Oh, he did. He did say he just did come down pit road. He actually just drove through pit road. So Alan Kennedy, from the back, he didn't stay out there, but he stays around the same spot I believe he would have been anyways. But Alan Kennedy drives through pit road, so he's still on old tires. So the top 7 on old tires. Donnie Kite, Isaiah Waltrus, Kyle Herlitsky on 2 tires here. Samuel Hoff, Skylar Jones, Alex McQueen, Connor Rosian, Tim McBasketball, Christopher Bush, Alan Kennedy on the old tires. And everyone else on 4. Alex Anderson on back on 4 fresh tires here. So we'll restart with a in regulation green, white, checkered. So we'll see how much the tires will make a difference. We'll see if the 4 tires all the way back in 11th with Alex Anderson, will they be enough to work? Will the new tires be enough? There's a 21 lap old tires for these race leaders. Will the fresh tires be enough to work your way up through 11 cars in 2 laps? And that's assuming we make it back to the white flag. Could have another caution. That could give it a more of an advantage to the guys on new tires if they work their way up a little bit quicker. Would be Samuel Hoff and Skylar Jones on the front row. And we could all, this is going to be a wild finish here for a green, white, checkered. This could be our in regulation attempt number 1. So we do have 2 extra overtime. I believe we have 2 or 3 extra overtimes to use. It's not our official overtime yet, but our in regulation green-white checkered will restart with a 2-lap shootout. Samuel Hoff, our race leader, pretty much led that entire final run. About 20-lap old tires, staying out with the top 7. See if Samuel Hoff, looking for a regular season championship, doing what he needs to do, leading as many laps as possible, trying to get the win over Connor Sabosian, also staying on the old tires, sitting there in second. The pace car is off. Back to the restart zone. Green flag back in the air here for Michigan. 2 to go.
A good restart there. He's going to clear pretty easily, but Zabosian right on his rear end. Not leaving that 0-0 here through turn 1.
Zabosian right on the back bumper. A beautiful restart. Calamity behind. Isaiah Walters a little on the apron. Around goes Alan Kennedy. A few other drivers involved. And that they stay green for now. Back up front. As they go back around again, Zachary Tyler goes around off of turn number 2, and that brings out the caution, and that will send us to overtime. As it all started down in turn number 3, Isaiah Walters a little on the apron. And I believe they're about 4 wide. Let's take a look at what happened. Alan Kennedy, big wiggles there, but 4 wide on the apron for Isaiah Walters. He drifts off the track. Alan Kennedy goes around. Zachary Tyler being the worst of those, I believe. As they almost all kept it straight. Michael James being involved. Let's take another look at that one. Let's see what happened here. So Alan Kennedy drifts off the racetrack with the old tires, really catches him off guard. Gets into Anderson. One of those drivers on fresh tires. Dylan Lamp getting involved, but Michael James, Christian Strager was on 2 wheels there. It's just a lot happening there with this restart.
Yeah, just trying to get as many positions as you can in a short amount of time. And whoa. 2 tires
right there. Let's just take a look at that onboard camera. That Christian Schweiger sees what's happening in front of him, just does not enough time to react. As you get a few drivers and are up on 2 wheels. Nose definitely into his tank. He was 5 laps down already. He was just trying to pick up a few extra points, and that's going to be heavy damage. That'll take him out of the night. But now Samuel Hoff still holds the lead. The first driver now on tires is Kyle Hurlitsky on 2 tires in 7th. And Timothy Presley on 4 tires right behind him in 8th. So new tires did not break into the top 7, but that wreck also kind of happened within those drivers on new tires. So that could hurt them a little bit, as they really didn't get any extra position there. And that puts another heat cycle on their tires. So far down the back straightaway, all these drivers trying to get a little bit of heat built back up into their tires, trying to clean their tires off. Isaiah Walters on 2 tires, sitting in 10th. Skylar Linsky in 7th, so really only the tires only broke up into the top 7. So only Alan Kennedy falling out of the top 7. And the new tires kind of being involved there as well, as Alex Anderson was involved in that one. He lost some track position. He's back here in 11th. But Samuel Hoff was able to get a really good restart with Connor Sabosian. So now they're not going to be lined up together, but Donnie Kite up to 4th. I didn't notice that. Donnie Kite on 2 fresh tires. He's up to 4th, so the best driver on tires. This could be a really good restarting spot for Donnie Kite, as his next competitor on fresh tires is Alex McQueen. Well, actually, sorry, not Alex McQueen. It is Kyle Hurlitsky back in 7th. Alex McQueen is on 4 tires. 4 tires that last caution we had 25 laps ago. But Donnie Kite, he is 2 spots ahead, about 2 rows ahead of the rest of those drivers on newer tires. So this goes green. Donnie Kite is sitting in a really good spot. He was outside looking into I think he had a little bit of help with some of those drivers in front of him being knocked out of tonight's race as they crashed out early. So Donnie Kite looking to make sure and just kind of win this race tonight and put himself in that chase.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Donnie Kite looking really good from what we've seen points-wise and what we know points-wise. I think if he finishes inside the top 5, I mean, I don't want to knock on wood, but he's pretty much, I would say, locked in. Nathan Johnson not being here tonight, Ruben Rose getting wrecked out, and a few others getting wrecked out as well.
And right now, Samuel Hoff, Connor Sposian on the front row. Donnie Kite not going to be behind the control car, but if he can get a good restart with Connor Sposian here, might allow him to make a move into turn number 1. That's overtime attempt number 1 here from Michigan. Green flag in hand. Back to the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air as you go get back up to speed. Samuel off a really good restart. It's down the first straightaway. He clears Connor Sposian quickly. Donnie Kite side by side with Skylar Jones down to the turn number 1 with 2 to go.
Hoff clears though for the race lead, but side by side for second. Donnie Kite on the outside. He's got the drive from Samuel Hoff down the back straightaway. They keep it clean through turn 1 and 2. Hoff for the run. He's gonna contact. Donnie Kite way down the inside as they stay straight for now through 3 and 4.
Kite up the racetrack, slides behind Samuel Hoff. Not able to get by Samuel Hoff down the first straightaway. He's going to have to try and stay in the draft, try and get a run. Kyle Herlinski, the next driver on two fresh tires, sitting there in 5th. If a little bit of contact happens in front of him, he might have a chance. He's got 1 lap to go, just under 2 miles now. Down to the 1 and 2 for the final time. Connor Sposian side by side with Kite. Big wreck behind. Skylar Jones hard on the outside wall. Samuel Hoff still holds the lead. Kite with a good run. Kyle Herlinski with the run down to the inside of Connor Sposian. Kite a little farther behind. Isn't 2 tires enough? He sends it into 3. Gonna go side by side for the race lead of Samuel Hoff. Off of 4. Hoff looking for the regular season championship.
He's there.
Kite looking for the chase. They both make contact. Hoff goes around. It's between Kyle Herlinski and Connor Sposian. Photo finish at the line. Kyle Herlinski wins at Michigan.
And Connor Sposian will win the regular season championship, I believe, as Samuel Hoff dropping back to 14th. What a turn of events.
Calamity on the final lap, final corner. Not even the final corner, the final run to the finish. And Kyle Herlinski, by 9 thousandths of a second, will win the regular season finale.
What a finish that was, wrapping up this regular season. And if we are correct, Connor Sposian will be your regular season champion, depending on how these drops work. We'll get an update here quickly, though.
Samuel Hoff, the worst thing he wanted to happen was end in a wreck in the final green-white checkered. And it comes down to the final few feet. We'll have to take a look at that points. Once they get updated, they'll be updated very quickly. But Kyle Herlinski will be the race winner. Thing is, if Connor Sposian is only a few points out, that would have been enough for the race win. This regular season championship could have been determined by 9 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, I mean, wow. Just obviously we gotta wait until the official points come out, but right now it's looking like Sposian is your regular season champion. And obviously Herlinski getting the win here tonight. And that's gonna be good for him as well.
Just a wild final few corners there, and even just the final run to the line. Let's take, right before we go to the break, and we'll get those updates. Let's take a quick look at what happened coming to the line here. It was Donnie Kite was with Samuel Hoff, but this is the final run down into the 1 and 2. Donnie Kite sends it into 3 and 4. He go down to the bottom, gonna get on the apron a little bit, but he still has the tires, just has the grip. Sends it out the bottom with Samuel Hoff here. Hoff throws the block. Actually, this is 1 lap to go, so the white flag here. Fast forward just this a little bit. But down in the 3 and 4 for the final time. This is what happened here with Donnie Kite.
Just absolutely sent it.
Just absolutely sends it in. Able to have the grip on the new tires. Make a little bit of contact off of turn number 4. They door a little bit. And that sends him spins Hoff spinning down the front straightaway, and then Kyle Kyle Herlinsky able to sneak through on the high lane.
Honestly, I think if Herlinsky didn't turn left there, Zabosian would have won that race. He just turned left or hard left right there.
Yeah, just Storm trying to kill that momentum for the 45 machine. As he does celebrate, he'll park it into victory lane. But while we get these points sorted out, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here from Michigan. Welcome back here to Michigan as we just saw a wild finish able to bring Kyle Herlinsky the win, and it is official. Connor Zabosian by 14 points, our regular season champion. We'll talk to him in just a moment, but before we get to our top 3 interviews, let's take a look at tonight's results here from Michigan, as we just saw a wild finish by 9 thousandths of a second. Kyle Herlinsky over Connor Zabosian. Donnie Kite finishing there in 3rd. Isaiah Washington 4th. Tate Luprette will round to the top 5. Alex McQueen in 6th. Timothy Presley in 7th. Brian Marshall in 8th. Nate Bogus in 9th. Christopher Bush will finish 10th. Finishing 11th, Timoth Basketball 12th. Zachary Tyler. Alan Kennedy 13th. Samuel Hoffman 14th. Michael James in 15th. Alex Anderson in 16th. Skylar Jones in 17th. Daniel Wallace in 18th. Dylan Lamp in 19th. Chris Schrager rounding our top 20 tonight. Joe Skinner will round out tonight in 21st. Dan River will finish 22nd. Hunter Sr. will finish 23rd. Gregory Thielson will finish 24th. Dustin Kyle will finish 25th. Craig Martin 26th. Jordan Warnock will finish 27th. Jimmy Geikos will finish 28th. 29th, Ruben Arotis. And 30th, Ryan Housen, I believe that. And Albert Lopez riding our 31-car field tonight. But also that, as Connor Sposing was able to take the regular season championship, we'll see those new cut line, Connor Sabosian, Samuel Hoff, Isaiah Walters, Kyle Herlitsky, Daniel Malnix, Kynan Jones, Alex Anderson, Craig Martin, Donnie Kite, Ruben Ortiz, Hunter Sr., and Dustin Coggin will be your chase field in race for a championship starting next week we'll get that in a little bit, but we'll brief over that after our interviews. But right now, out in front tonight, it was Kyle Herlitsky, over 9 thousandths of a second. We'll try and find him and bring him into the Discord really quickly. There he is. And Kyle Herlitsky, our race winner by 9 thousandths of a second over Connor Sabosian. Just walk us through that final corner and how are you able to win it?
So we took right side tires, and as kind of a gamble, because the tire fall off wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. At least I thought it was going to be, but we said, heck with it. I got nothing to lose. And, we had that late caution running up through the field there with the fresh tires and coming out that final corner. I was like, well, I'm going to have a good run here. I'm like, I might be able to get up side by side with them. And then there was the contact with Sam and Donnie, and coming to the line with Connor right next to me there. I thought he had it. I thought that he stole it from me at the last second there, but heck of a close finish.
Yeah, that final restart was completely hectic there, but you mentioned the two tires, and just how do those two tires handle compared to the old tires or the 4 fresh tires? Just kind of how do the two tires handle? Just kind of handle any better or any worse kind of compared to the old tire?
I mean, the 2 tires there at the end were awesome. I mean, it was great. If we didn't have that late restart, I don't think that this would have played out in my favor at all, because they weren't good enough for like a 2-lap run to the finish, but they were great on the restarts where I could just basically full throttle, dive it down into the corner, gain like 3 or 4 spots, and then the caution came out, and then we re-racked it, and just that extra little bit of grip was just enough to be able to get by people, because during the rest of the race you really couldn't pass people on the inside consistently. So to be able to just run that inside line and power throughout those restarts was key.
And you're able to drive your way through, able to sneak your way to the win by just under 100th of a second. But before we send off on the way, any sponsor of the link for tonight's race win?
Yeah, Race Tech and AV Design.
And once again, congrats on your race win. We'll see you next week for the chase start, as you're also one of those drivers racing for the championship. We'll see you next week at Charlotte.
Can't wait.
So that was Kyle Herlitsky, our race winner. We'll bring in our second place finisher and our regular season champion, Connor Sabosian. He thought you weren't going to have it there at the final little bit, but Samuel Hoff going around off of 4. You're able to take the regular season championship. And just how does that feel to get those few extra bonus points winning this chase?
It feels pretty good, but I mean, the regular season championship doesn't really compare to the season championship, so it wasn't really on my top priorities. I was just looking for a good run, good finish. I mean, if I wrecked out, it wasn't huge at the end of the day for the points contention. So I was just out there running, trying to get a win, and these cars are super draft reliant, so it's kind of hard to make up a run, or like, especially at this track, like everyone knows to protect the top. You get inside somebody, you have to really dive it in to be able to clear them. And it was only truly working in 3 and 4. So, I mean, that kind of put us at a rough spot for passing. So it was pretty difficult to make any ground up during this race.
Yeah, and you mentioned those the kind of the track position. How did that matter there towards the end, and just because we saw a lot of the drivers stay out, maybe try and keep some track position even with the older tires, and a few drivers come down pit road and take tires. So just kind of how do that the track position and how do the tires wear tonight? Just how did that make and how difficult it was to pass? Just how did that make your waver your decision to stay out there in that final few restarts?
I definitely knew coming into this race that it was going to be a little difficult to pass, so my inability to qualify kind of screwed me from the start. So I took quite a few laps to get up there and make some ground. I ended up taking 2 tires one of those stops just to make up a little bit of track position, but I mean, for the most part, like, everyone would get antsy and try and make a pass on the inside, and the only way you would really get around somebody is by, like I said, sending it on the inside in 3 and 4, or just waiting for somebody in front of you to try and pass and then clearing them on the outside. So that was the main goal, to passing people and making up ground. As for the tires and stuff, I mean, 2 tires kind of seemed to work. If you could get the track position, you could almost do a little better than the 4 tires for almost the entire run. That whole run where Sam got the lead and led up until that caution before or right after the green flag pits, like, we were both on 2 tires there and holding our own pretty well against the 4 tires. So its track position was massive.
And you're able to hold on there in those final hectic green-white checkers and able to pick up a very solid second-place finish. And you had avoided that last lap incident to pick up the regular season championship. Before we send off on the way, any sponsor that like to thank for tonight's getting that regular season championship in tonight's second-place finish.
Yeah, I got to thank Moran Chevrolet, McQuaid Heating and Cooling, Panier Supply and Equipment, PPG, Dynamite Machining, The Pleasure Zone, Michigan Independent Door Company, Juicy Spider Racing, you guys for a great broadcast, and everyone watching at home.
Once again, congrats on your regular season championship, and we'll see you next week at Charlotte.
Thank you.
So that was our second place finisher and our regular season champion of Connor Shabosin. We'll bring in our third place finisher of Donnie Kite. He had a few unlucky incidents earlier in the season, but the luck turned his way tonight, able to pick up a solid third place run, and you are locked in to the chase starting next week at Charlotte. So how does it feel able to put your way into this chase and race for a championship?
Feels good, man. I felt pretty good. I mean, I'm not super confident about Michigan by any means, but I knew if I kept the nose clean and just try to stay out front as much as I can, I'd be fine. And yeah, man. I mean, I think they're looking at the last lap incident right now. I don't know if I'm necessarily locked in, but I'm pretty sure I'm in. So we'll see what happens.
And just kind of talk me through that final run. You took 2 tires there. You had to chase your way through the field, and just kind of talk us through that final green-white checker there, and just what were you trying to what was your move, and what do you think you could have planned that any better to maybe try and get up in front of them? Or just what do you think you could do differently to maybe hold on to the lead?
Honestly, man, it was kind of hard to work out getting into the lead or anything, because Sam and them, they were working really well together, but I wasn't in a position, like, obviously I'm on the outside looking in. We're not really working together. They know I'm going on to a different team next season. I don't know if that was announced publicly yet, but so I mean, the best thing I could have done in that situation in order to pass the 2 or 3 cars that were clearly working together to stay in front, which obviously is what they needed to do to try to win the race. I needed some fresh tires on the right side of the car so I can wrap the outside lane, because I feel like that's where I needed to get the top. Like, you weren't going to do anything on the bottom. I had to get the top, and the only way I was going to get the top is if I could get to the throttle sooner than those guys in front of me. So I figured I'd come in, get a couple tires on the car, and it was game over there, man. I felt super confident starting 8th. Ended up 4th right off of turn 2 before that caution dropped. I was even more confident, ready for that last restart, clearly.
Yeah, but you're able to drive your way in the final hectic green-white checkered finish there, and you're able to still pick up a solid third-place run and put yourself into that chase. And we'll see how any maybe post-race penalties. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But you should be locked into the chase here. You're pretty solid ahead of everyone else in front of you. as well, having pretty bad races. You're pretty good. I think you're about 22 ahead, so you should be okay there. But overall, a very solid run for you tonight. Do what you did what you had to do. But before we turn off on your way, any sponsor like to thank for tonight's third place run.
Yeah, man. Before I get there, I don't know that anything would happen penalty wise, because I mean, I didn't, because we can watch the replay all day. I didn't do anything malicious. I went up there to side draft. I mean, we're both trying to go for an important checkered flag there, I would argue. He obviously didn't go all the way to the fence. He wasn't giving me a lot of real estate to work with either. It was just, hard racing. We made contact. I don't know if he overcorrected or, it is what it is. We bounced off tires, and it resulted in neither of us being able to grab a checkered. So, no malicious intent there. But I got to thank everybody on the race team and my sponsors, Juicy Spider. We've been working real hard, not only in SAC, but across many other facets of league racing on iRacing, and we've been getting so good, man. We've been tearing it up on the racetrack. So much more competitive lately. We've been working with the right people. Juicy Spider's been putting us in the right position, and it's proven itself right now on the racetrack. I mean, what's the worst finish we've had recently? Like outside of third. I mean, we're absolutely destroying it right now in numbers. So I can't thank those guys enough. And obviously you guys at LRN, Talon, and Aaron, always putting on a great broadcast for no matter what league you guys are doing. And Sam putting on SAC. It's a big league here. We might have some disagreements here and there, but this is obviously a successful push for these group of guys. And I'm looking forward to going into the next season and pushing this thing through the chase as far as we can.
And once again, congrats on your third place run and making the chase tonight. So we'll see you next week at Charlotte.
Sounds good, guys. Appreciate you having me.
So that was Donnie Kite, our third place finisher tonight, as he was able to put himself in the chase with that very solid run he needed tonight. And it was a really good run. And not able to get the win like he would have hoped for, but he was able to pick up a very solid third place run, and he should be in the chase and join another 11 drivers to start their chase for the championship next week at Charlotte.
Yeah, his chase field very strong there. Karolowski picking up his first win of the season as well. Very important for him. As going into the chase, it's going to be obviously supposing one rain the regular season. So he'll have a 72 points bonus there. He'll have a 11-point lead over Simmelhoff going into next week as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. A lot of good drivers in the top 12, and I think it'll be a very interesting chase upcoming as well.
Yeah, especially so you have Connor Symposium, Samuel Hoff, Isaiah Watchers, Kai Hurlitsky, Daniel Walnix, Alex Anderson, Kynan Jones, Craig Martin, Donnie Kite, Ruben Rodas, Hunter Sr., Dustin Coggin will all be fighting for a championship within the next few weeks, and I believe this next 4 or 5 weeks to the chase for the championship. And Dustin Coggin rounding up the 12-car chase field. He has 67 points out, so he's got the most work to do. We'll see how he tackles next week at Charlotte. But a lot of strong drivers, a lot of these drivers, multiple wins from multiple drivers in this chase field. It's going to be a very strong competitive chase, and we'll see who can pick up the season 2 championship in just a few weeks' time. Before we get there, though, coming up next here on the Legends Racing Network, tomorrow night we'll have the Undisputed Cup Series at Iowa at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Friday night we'll have the Inter Cup Series from Le Mans at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. On Sunday night we'll have Sunday morning we'll have a new Bonfire Racing League. They'll be going to Echo Park Speedway or Atlanta Motor Speedway, as previously named, at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time on Sunday morning. Monday night we'll have the at Richmond for the at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. For chase race number 4 will be the 5 Points Racing League Turnkey Network Solution Series. On Tuesday night we'll have the Legends Racing League Gen 4 Series for next week at Legacy Phoenix at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And on Wednesday night we'll have Charlotte for the SuperStar Cup for chase race number 1 at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time for qualifying, and race being a little bit later after that. But it's definitely a fun amount of races coming up, and I am very excited for this chase coming up soon. But overall, a very thrilling race tonight here here from Michigan. So long here from Michigan. I'm Aaron Brown, joined alongside my co-commentator of Talent Drake tonight. We'll see you next time here on the Legends Racing Network.